in KwaZulu-Natal. Gumede is the last elected ANC eThekwini chairperson and has representing the party as mayor of the Metro and a member of the KZN legislature. Over the past couple of years, Gumede has maintained a low political profile after being asked to step aside by the ANC due to the ongoing corruption trial against her. Gumede did not respond to any questions of why she left the ANC to join the MK party.
Nobhala wethu jikelele ngivumeleni ukuthi le mbuzo ebuziwe ngingayiphenduli kodwa ngithi nje.
Secretary General, please allow me not to answer these questions, but I do want to say I am grateful to be welcomed with this much warmth to the MK party.
And lastly, in the UK, 12 people have been arrested as part of a terrorism-related investigation into an alleged threat against an Islamic event in England. According to reports, the UK Ijtima party, or event rather, ended early yesterday as a precaution after the possible threat. Those arrested include 11 men aged between 27 and 82 and one 48-year-old woman, mostly residing in London or Eastern England. A partly cloudy Tuesday in store for Gauteng tomorrow. Johannesburg drops to an overnight low of 4 degrees, peaking at 19, Pretoria 5 and 20, and Vereeniging 3 and 20 degrees. Noluthando Ngeno, Eyewitness News.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. Comfort ends where Marawa Sports Worldwide begins.
Reaction Monday.
My Reaction Monday.
My Reaction Monday.
It's Monday today. It's Reaction Monday.
If it's shaking sport, we are already on it.
So whose name is going to be the last one into this year's tantalising semi-final lineup? Messi's corner. What a header that is!
There is a clear simulation. Final decision, yellow card number 7. No!
He's going to be sent off here in Bolo. It is a second yellow card. Lautaro Martinez sends Argentina to the semi-finals.
It's Harry Kane for England, seeing more of the ball in more threatening areas. Haaland's up. That was well done. Into Jude Bellingham. Bellingham with the equaliser. And the shot is saved brilliantly, and it's into the back of the net.
Final decision, corner retaken.
It's 2-1 England. Bellingham's there once again on the follow-up. Morgan Rogers' shot, spilled by Neelan. This is excellent play from the England fullback, who's done really well, and England have got a penalty.
No foul.
Patrick Berg opens up for the shot. Good save by Neelan. Here comes Saka. Double stop by Oya Neelan.
Hashtag MSW.
Swept away, it's in the second. Williams has got it.
He's the only man who has the confidence that he has, as Mark Williams.
Mark, if I'm not mistaken, you are turning 60 next month. Which footballing moment, other than the 1996 AFCON, would you relive forever if you were given an opportunity?
Well, thank you so much. Why is it when you mention 60, then you just pack out laughing?
Rob, I mean, I thought I was going to keep it a secret, you know. I even said to my wife, and that's a funny part, is that my mother-in-law got 60 last year, and I said to her, you mustn't give my 60, give my 65 years later. And she said, Mark, I can't do that.
That window, it's that 10-year window before we can call you nice, wonderful old dopey of 70. So 60 is significant, but for you, what is significant about it?
When people ask me, how do you feel? And I'm like, well, I am 60. You know, I can just give credit to God for keeping me alive, for keeping me healthy.
Our nation is in shock.
Yeah, the news didn't hit very well.
I'm a threat man now.
As the two teams gather either side of the halfway line, and we will have a moment of silence for Jaden Adams, who played for South Africa at this World Cup, but was tragically died at the age of 25.
As Bafana Bafana qualified for the knockout stage for the first time in their history.
MSW remembers Bibo Makwedini, who passed away at just 20. A powerful prop and an even warmer soul. He will be sorely missed by his rugby family.
Well, good evening, Mr. Marawa and the MSW family. This Reaction Monday, I would like to only react on such painful and sad news of passings of two great players that South Africa gave birth to, which is Lukubo Bibo Makwetini and Jaden Grootman Adams. You know, they say the good die young, gone too soon. A fact that they never gave hope, joy, and excitement to only us, the fans, but also pride to other families for what they have achieved. You know, a future inspiring for other players that wanted to play rugby as well as soccer. Hey, to my saying and my condolences to the both family. You know, message to Jaden Adams as well as Lukubo Makwetini, return if possible. Great show as always, Bongani Kama from Mitsepison.
Another Reaction Monday, which I didn't think today we'll be talking about the passing of Jaden. I never even imagined, not even Jaden, not any player of PSL. I didn't expect something like this to happen so soon to a 25-year-old. Robert, to all the supporters of football, to all the family of Cape Town, to all the love, the faithful of Mamelodi Sundowns supporters, on behalf of Orlando Pirates supporters, we said what a sad news we had on Saturday. It's painful, Robert, to everybody. It's very painful. I didn't expect this. I really don't. We have many questions, got no answers. At the end of the day, overall, Robert, let's say goodbye to Jaden. You play your part, boy. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, sure, Robert.
I guess those will be the words. It's fine when deep down inside we all know that there is nothing fine about the sad passing away of two very esteemed young gentlemen who represented different sporting codes but also represented South Africa at the heart of it. You know, one as early as just a couple of weeks ago, playing for the national team, Bafana Bafana, playing at a World Cup platform and representing the country as brilliantly as what Jaden Adams did. In the same breath, we can't forget Lukubo Bibo Makwetini. I mean, he had just turned 20 years old, Sadly lost his life. So both of those South Africans with the greatest of hearts, we want to celebrate their lives, look back at their contribution, and we've parked that for tomorrow so that we can do a thorough job either way. The availability of some of the family members who would not have been available today but have asked that we just give them a little bit more time, which we perfectly understand. So South Africans, be with us as we put together a show for tomorrow in honor of Jaden Adams, also in honor of Lukubo Bibo Makwetini, and to be a part of that, do send us your WhatsApp voice notes. Today, though, it is Reaction Monday. We turn our attention to so much more. We turn our attention again, maybe as a way of comfort of finding some of the answers to the many questions that we do have. It is Marawa Sports Worldwide, proudly brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
Let's go! The moments you remember. The games you can't forget. Marawa Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets.
All right, this is the World Cup update right here on hashtag MSW. Marawa Sports Worldwide, powered by Rexona. It won't let you down. Guess what? We've got a very special guest in studio tonight. We're going to be bring him inside this part of the world. I mean, he's been relaxing for the past 35 minutes. He's been here nice and early. He's taken in the culture of Primedia and everything that we do here. And we are so honored, so blessed to invite into studio and also for a football conversation with one of the greatest the world has seen when it comes to football, none other than Roberto De Matteo.
You're locked into Marawa Sports Worldwide.
Penalty for France. Mbappe against Bono. And it's saved.
Founder of Result Sports, Mario Leo, good to have you. Talking about threatening, though, I mean, can anybody realistically threaten to stop Mbappe from winning both the Golden Boot and the World Cup?
Yes, of course. You have Harry Kane, who is obviously eagerly hungry to bring the trophy home to England.
It's Kane!
You have Lionel Messi obviously scoring every single game somehow, whether that's by default, whether that's by script of FIFA. But so far it's working out. The heroes and the stars are shining, and those three names, I think they are a threat for Kylian Mbappe's Golden Boot.
Lionel Messi's rescued him again. It's another one for the record books.
Robert Marawa. Sir, this is the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Live from the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Spanning Canada, Mexico, and the United States of America. Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Hashtag MSW.
All right, he still has that burst of energy, doesn't he? Hey, Roberto De Matteo, I can tell you that my guest tonight knows exactly what it takes, though, to make history. I mean, his name forever etched into football folklore. A player of elegance. A lot of people have said that he's been a highly intelligent player. A great deal of composure, and also a manager who engineered one of the game's greatest of fairy tales. And we go back to 2012 when he guided Chelsea to that unforgettable UEFA Champions League triumph. Yeah, Chelsea fans remember this like it happened yesterday. I mean, completing one of football's greatest underdog stories while also lifting the FA Cup. Hey, and the very same remarkable season. And as a player, I mean, he was a Chelsea icon, scoring a major cup finals, helping shape one of the club's golden eras, though before injury cruelly brought a brilliant career to an early end. Well, he was also proudly represented, as far as Italy is concerned, 34 occasions. He got the caps for them, from winning league titles in Switzerland to starring in Lazio and Serie A to becoming Chelsea's record signing, and also later managing the clubs including MK Dons, West Bromwich Albion, Schalke, as well as Aston Villa. I mean, he's also experienced the game from every angle, thoughtful, measured, highly respected. I mean, he remains one of the most insightful voices on leadership, on management, and the evolution of the modern game. And that's why tonight we reflect on the unforgettable 2026 FIFA World Cup. That's why he is here in South Africa, working for the World of Champions, working for SuperSport, analyzing, giving us some of that in-depth information that we wouldn't otherwise know. Roberto De Matteo, what an honor, what a pleasure. Welcome to the show.
Robert, thank you. I think this was the best introduction I've ever had in my life, Robert. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm delighted to be here. Thank you for inviting me, Robert. I've been here 5 days now, and it's been fantastic. Yeah. You know, I've met so many lovely people, working with the guys at SuperSport. It's been amazing watching obviously the quarterfinals. There's been some good games there as well, so it's been great. The only one issue I have, Robert, if I may share it with you,
please do,
is that we need to talk about the Italian team you support, because I just heard that you support an Italian team that I don't know why. So maybe you can explain that.
Oh, you saw the Roma.
I did see that in your waiting room there, so maybe you can explain it to me a little bit later.
There is a very young man. He is South African. He's probably not older than 10 years old. Very young talent. I'll tell you his name.
Okay.
But he's come into the studio with his parents, and obviously he is at AS Roma at the moment because they are grooming him for the future.
Right.
And if I showed you clips of this young man, you yourself would think, my goodness, let me get on the phone, let me call the guys at Chelsea, let them know. I mean, if Chelsea is still in your heart, that is.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a big part of my life, my sports life, but also my private life. So he's in the academy of AS Roma.
Yes, he is. He is. But
good.
also there's another story. There's a certain gentleman, I'm sure you know him very, very well. He used to play for Bayern Munich. He was a Ghanaian international. He was a UEFA Champions League winner and a UEFA Champions League loser by the name of Sami Kuffour.
Ah, yes, defender.
100%.
Yeah.
So Sami... The first time I met Sami Kuffour, before working with him for many years, also at SuperSport doing Champions League and World Cups with them and Africa Cup of Nations, I met him at AS Roma, the very, very first time. So there's a lot that comes in when it comes to that little, scarf that you saw.
Okay. I accept your explanation. Well, nobody's perfect, right? You're almost perfect, Robert.
Not as perfect as what we know of you and what we've seen of you. You can't be happy though with the fact that Italy are nowhere to be seen.
No, it's actually a disaster that Italy is not in this World Cup, but even more that we have missed as a nation the last 3 World Cups. I mean, this generation in Italy that have never seen the Italian national team actually playing in the World Cup, because the last one was in 2014, the one in Brazil. Can you imagine? So, and a whole generation of Italian football players have never actually played in it because they never qualified for it. So it's an absolute disaster. But it's a long story that I don't want to bore you with. There is Italy needs to reform the youth system, grassroots football, and they need to start from there. And also, we have some very good young talents. The under 17, under 19, under 21 teams, they actually do well, but they then don't get the opportunity to continue the development in the respective clubs in Italy. So what's been happening actually recently with these young Italian talents is that they're going abroad now. So they've realized that in Italy they don't have the opportunity, the chances, so they're going to play abroad. So there's a player in Borussia Dortmund. There's one in Belgium playing, in Holland, in Spain. So they are taking a different route now. So we had the election of the new president of the federation, the Italian Federation, in June, end of June, and he's just appointed the most respected player probably in world football, Paolo Maldini, as technical director of the federation. So our hope is with them now, that they're gonna make some new rules and change Italian football at the youth system, at the youth level, and hopefully we can. Or we have to hope that FIFA expands the World Cup to 64 teams,
please,
and maybe maybe then we have a chance to qualify. You know what I mean?
I hear you, but we don't want that.
No, I know. I mean,
you're joking about
it.
That.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
I know you're joking about that, but it's a very serious thing, though, because it's great that we were able to have 10, nations qualifying from the the African continent. But then when I heard about this, was it like 48 hours ago? Even before our Italian conversation happened, I was like, no, it takes away. I mean, even the UEFA president, Schäferin, said it's a crazy idea. There's no way. You don't want to weaken football by just continuously expanding. What have you made, though, of this newly expanded World Cup? I don't know. For me, it's provided excitement. It's provided full stadiums. It's provided controversy with VAR and controversy with refereeing and so many other things. How would you sum it up?
Yeah, so I would define it as a celebration of opportunities, a celebration of hope, because we have seen many countries that would have probably never qualified for a World Cup, showing the talent, the skills, the quality in this World Cup. So I think the fact that we have 48 teams in this FIFA World Cup has really... I've enjoyed it very much. I think it's been a huge success. Like you, I spent a week in the States, in Miami, and I went to see 2 live games: Uruguay against Cape Verde and Brazil, Scotland. And I mean, Cape Verde is probably been one of the big surprises of this World Cup. Not just the team itself, but the style of play that they brought to the World Cup. It's been refreshing, and I didn't know much about their players, to be honest, but I have to say I enjoyed watching them, and they've been very successful, and so I think 48, it's a good number. It still didn't allow Italy to qualify, but it showed that I think FIFA went the right direction. They wanna expand football worldwide, so globally, not just have the European teams and South American teams and some African teams. So this format, I think, is right. Even though at the beginning it looked like, oh my God, 104 games, that's a lot, but it's gone past so fast. We are at the semi-finals now. And at the end, always the usual suspects, the best teams arrive in the semi-finals. You look at these 4 teams now in the semi-finals, it's top 4 teams in the FIFA World Ranking, right? But also some of the Africans team, they've enjoyed success, and it's also a window of opportunity for their players to showcase their talent. and so on. So all in all, I think great success. The vibe in America was amazing, great. There's a lot of enthusiasm there. Yes, you can see on TV the stadiums are full despite all the negativity pre-World Cup and so on. And the Brazil-Scotland atmosphere was out of this world. I mean, you had all the Scottish fans coming with the kilts and the pipes and, walking into the stadium. It was amazing. And the Brazilians...
different cultures. That's the amazing thing, is that you bring your kilt and your bagpipes, you bring all of these things that people say, what on earth is this? And you look at Cape Verde and they also do the same thing. I mean, ask Argentina. Argentina could have gone back home if that resulted.
More than once.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. More than once.
Well, we'll find out more, from Roberto De Matteo. He is my guest. We'll take some of your questions or comments or phone calls. We also live on the YouTube channel, so stick around to pop your questions on any platform that you want to do that on. Looking forward to a great conversation. And if you haven't heard, though, that Shield is now Rexona, a brand that you've trusted for years, is stepping forward with a bold new name. It is pronounced Rexona. It's simple, it's strong, and easy to remember. Now, this new name comes with a fresh new look and also advanced body heat technology, so that it gets to work every time you move, keeping you feeling very confident all day. A proud partner of Bafana Bafana as well as Banyana Banyana, Rexona, it won't let you down. Right, that was the World Cup update here on hashtag MSW, powered by Rexona. It won't let you down.
Hashtag MSW, live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Sowetan Live at the same time. Hashtag MSW.
When there's tough to be done, you keep moving. Driving through dirt roads, back roads, and roads less traveled, with just your thoughts to keep you company. And along that journey, you'll have a silent partner. One that gets you to work, to the rescue, to your son's big rugby game, without a complaint or a hesitation. Because when there's tough to be done, there's the new generation Hilux.
Welcome to Nando's Taste-Demonials.
Real reviews by real people. Today's testimonial comes from Jeff in Kempton Park. Now, Jeff seems to be a man of very few words. We've asked him to use his few words to tell us what he thinks of our flame-grilled peri-peri full chicken with any two sharing sides for $2.83. Jeff?
Nice.
Well, there you have it. When the meal is such a mouthful, you really only need a few words, I guess. Nando's. Oh, what a place.
Feeling bold? Step into the action with Lotto Star's live game shows. Bet now and watch your luck unfold on Crazy Coin Flip, Balloon Race, Crazy Pachinko, Ice Fishing, and many more. You could win instant payouts of up to 25 million rand. Lotto Star, your world of live games. Lotto Stars licensed by the Mpumalanga Economic Regulator. No under 18. NRGP 0800 006 008. Winners know when to stop. T's and C's apply. All games are fixed odds betting events.
The 18th of July marks Nelson Mandela Day, a global call to action encouraging us all to spend 67 minutes making a difference. Join the Adopt a School Foundation as we bring companies together to uplift a school in Soweto. Plant a vegetable garden, read to a learner, paint a classroom. Every act of kindness helps create a better learning environment and a brighter future. Honor Madiba's legacy, give your 67 minutes and be part of a lasting change. Visit adoptaschool.org.za for more.
No road, no traffic, just your team, a stationary bike and 25 minutes to make an impact. The CEO Cycle Challenge 2026 is back and businesses are invited to enter a team of 4 for a high-energy studio cycling challenge at Woodmead from 31 August to 4 September 2026. Ride in support of education and opportunity for talented South African children while giving your business the chance to connect with other leaders. Entries are now open. Visit ceochallenge.co.za and enter your team today. CEO Cycle Challenge 2026.
Adulting often means being your own moment maker. With Lancet by your side, of course. The what's for dinner wanderer. The comfort food chooser. The I need something quick but proper rusher. Because after a long day, there's one thing you can count on. A warm, crispy cheese toastie. Golden and melting with creamy Lancewood cottage cheese and cheddar. Obviously. Lancewood. Quality time.
My goal is to play in Europe. I would like to play for Liverpool. That's my dream.
Our nation is in shock. Jaden Adams, who lit up the World Cup just weeks ago, has passed away at just 25.
Jaden Adams, who played for South Africa at this World Cup.
An incredible talent, a proud servant of the game.
And yeah, we work hard for this moment. And yeah, we finally got the second star.
Our thoughts are with his family and the Mamelodi Sundowns family during this profound and indescribable loss.
But a quality player, Jaden Adams. Special quality player.
Lalanko Tola, Jaden, from your MSW family.
And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born in the vapor of your breath. The planets form.
Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Hashtag MSW.
Okay, Roberto De Matteo is my guest tonight right here on Hashtag MSW. It is Reaction Monday and lots of you are just saying, my goodness, is this for real? Are you playing an April Fool's joke on us? The Roberto De Matteo? If I could speak Italian, I would be able to, confirm and convince everybody here. But we have a huge Italian following that's listening to the show right now. Maybe you want to greet in Italian?
Buonasera a tutti gli italiani a Johannesburg e in Sudafrica.
Have you ever commentated like a live game? I know you do analytical work.
No, not really. No, I don't think I've ever done that. Maybe once, but I don't really do much media, TV work, to be honest. This is a special occasion because of the World Cup and Supersport really wanted me to be here. And so that's why I'm here. And I love to explore new countries, new cultures and so on. And so I think that's the reason I'm here. And the World Cup, I'm really enjoying this World Cup, I have to say.
We are enjoying that too. I want to take you back though a little bit because there was a moment where the players at Chelsea were so happy with what was going on. You had been given a short-term contract, if I want to call it that. Andre Villas-Boas was asked to pack his bags and left, and then you went on to win very famously the UEFA Champions League, playing at the Allianz Arena in Germany. And then Roman Abramovich had to step into the change room to address the players who wanted you to stay. But he was still promising that a decision was to be taken. Firstly, just explain to me, what was your relationship like with Roman Abramovich?
Well, actually, it was pretty good, to be honest. I was, outside football, he invited me a few times, and as owner of the football club, you didn't see much of him. He had Marina Granovskaya that was running the football club, so you used to deal with her much more than with him. But apart from the fact that he sacked me, I had a pretty good relationship, and he was very loyal, and we had. We didn't even have a contract as a caretaker manager. It was just a sort of verbal agreement or so, and he was very loyal and really a good guy, to be honest. Football-wise, you could have different opinions. We had different opinions, but outside football, he was actually a really good guy.
I know you say he fired you in that manner, but how did you take it at the time?
When he fired me?
Yeah.
not well, I can tell you that.
Because I'm sure you felt like you didn't deserve to be. Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't think I deserved it. But it's football, that's a football business. And when you become manager, you know that one day you're going to get fired. It's part of our football business. Every manager has been, apart from one, and that's Pep Guardiola. I don't think he's ever been fired. But every other manager, you name it, Ancelotti, Mourinho, Luis Enrique, everybody's been fired in their career. So it's part of our job. Apart from that, I had a great time, being the caretaker manager of the club, of my home club, Chelsea, and the players were wonderful with me because obviously I was an ex-player, so I think they respected the fact that I was an ex-player and also that I was an ex-player of the club, and some of the John Terry and Frank Lampard, they were at the club already when I was still a player, So they were my teammates at the time, and then I had your lovely African boys. They were magnificent. You had Salomon Kalou, yeah. He made me a successful manager. And Didier and Michael Essien was there with us, and so they were wonderful. I just had to bring them together as a group because they were a little bit divided during the season. So
was it just egos, or was it just the case
of big egos in that dressing room? You name it. From Didier Drogba to Peter Cech and John Terry and Frank Lampard and Ivanovic. I mean, there was John Obi Mikel. There were big egos and names, and so it was a matter of making sure that they were pulling all in the right direction for the right reasons. And slowly, during that little run at the end of the season, we managed to do that, convinced them that was the only way. And they pulled a rabbit out of the hat, really, the players.
Sure. I mean, it's obviously the manager that plays a big part. And the irony, I think, at that stage, though, Roberto, is the fact that when your contract or the verbal contract was up for dispute or negotiation, it was the same with Salomon Kalou. It was the same for Didier Drogba because their contracts were coming to their end by the end of June of that year. So it was almost like irony, the fact that all three of you who've been playing such a big part in the success of Chelsea with the FA Cup and the Champions League, that your futures were pretty much up in the air. How did you deal with them, maybe to comfort them while you're still trying to comfort yourself in saying, relax, everything will be dealt with, never listen or read what's in the newspapers because that's going to mislead you?
I didn't care about myself, quite honestly. I was caring about the players, I was more worried or concerned about their well-being, and I loved those guys, and I knew that many of them were coming towards the end of their career, or especially the career at Chelsea. So it was a sort of the last dance for them, the last opportunity to win something special for their career, which I always said to them, you deserve to win something special with the career you had at this club and in general, So and slowly, they convinced themselves. I was able to convince them that it was the way to go, to pull together as a group and just believe that it's possible to achieve something special, something big. And then, win brings confidence, and then one win brings another win, and we had some great games, and everybody was involved, luckily, because we were playing so many games, we still had to run in the FA Cup, and in the Premier League. So we were playing every 3-4 days, we had the game. So, everybody was playing and involved, and it was a great atmosphere. It was very intensive for the staff because we had to prepare every game, every 3 days, a new game, new team, and analyze the opposition and train the guys and so on. But I have such fond memories of that time because when you have success like that, it bonds you together for the rest of your life. Sure. When we see each other now, anywhere, I bumped into Salomon Kalou in the hotel, and you hug each other He
was looking forward to seeing you. Actually, you mentioned your name.
Yeah, we saw each other. He was actually having a difficult season that season in 11 and 12, and then. He just needed a bit of love, Salomon. He's a lovely boy, and I showed him a bit of love, and I still love him today. But and he was amazing for us. I think he played 80 or 90% of the games under me when I was the caretaker manager. So. And he was amazing, really amazing. And so the other boys, so it was just a question of pulling them together.
And pulled together they did, man. South Africans love you and they want to have a conversation with you.
Hi, Rob. Greetings to you and all the listeners. This is Joel from Watford in Benoni. As a Chelsea supporter, we really loved Roberto Di Matteo. And just like anyone else, my greatest moments of him were when he won the Champions League after beating Bayern Munich. But I want to really compliment him for what he did, because when he came in, when he took over the job as the head coach, most of the senior players, it seemed as though they were being left out by the coach who was coaching previously. But when he came in, he brought back those players and then he gave them the confidence. And of course, they did the great job that we all remember up to now. Thank you so much, Rob. Sharp.
Hi, Rob. Tom Nyati once again. Greetings to you. Greetings to Roberto Di Matteo. What a legend Rob came. I want to find out from him. How did it feel for him to play, manage, and win the Champions League with Chelsea? Rob, I believe he had great memories of Chelsea, but 2012, I believe it comes out tops for him. Every manager wishes to win a Champions League. Every manager wishes to win trophies for the club that he manages. And every player also wishes to win the Champions League, the ultimate prize. How does he take that kind of an achievement in his career? Thanks, Rob.
Good evening, Rob, and good evening to the UEFA Champions League winning coach Roberto Di Matteo, who led Chelsea to that iconic 2012 UEFA Champions League victory, where they came from a goal behind with Didier Drogba scoring that important goal in the dying minutes of the game, taking the game to extra time, ended up winning the game in the penalty shootout. Need to find out from you, coach, with that victory alone, you were later dismissed by Chelsea, and Chelsea has got a reputation of firing coaches. How did they deliver the message to you? Were you called into a boardroom, and how did they carry out the message regarding your dismissal? I just want to hear your views around that.
It's so many years later, you can chat about these things. How did they say to an entire UEFA Champions League winner that, thank you very much, we don't need you?
It was the then chairman and the CEO. It was, I think we were coming back from a Champions League game.
Yeah.
So it was in the middle of the night, and they came to my office, and they just informed me of the decision of being released. So I didn't have the chance to talk to the players, but that's life. It's there's a lot of water that's gone under the bridge now, and I was very upset at the time, obviously. But now,
but what reasons do they give you? I mean, they can't just say to you, "Thank you very much, cheers."
I can't remember the exact reason, to be honest. It's been a long time now, but and it doesn't really matter at the end, the reason, because it doesn't make it any better, to be honest.
It's a decision that it's taken. It's
taken. It's want to go in a different direction, I guess, and that's it.
Also, I know at this stage, though, that Abramovich was a big fan of some of these so-called experienced coaches. You look at a Laurent Blanc, for example. I think he had also looked at a Fabio Capello as a possible future coach. I think even Harry Redknapp was seen as a possibility for Chelsea. But what you had achieved, a lot of those that had been there before you hadn't even come close to achieving the kind of success, especially in Europe, where you win the cup and you qualify the club then for the next season's UEFA Champions League. And you would think that's the ultimate, but some people think differently. You're always in a very unfair situation as a coach. I don't know how you feel about it now, because you're out of that space. How do you feel about it when you reflect back on it now in 2026?
Life is not always fair, Robert. I think we all know that, right? So you're going to have decisions that are going against you. But I don't dwindle too much on those ones. I'm a positive person. I look forward. I look to what's going to happen in the future and what the future brought me. And I was grateful to having the opportunity to guide the club that I played for, and to their first historic win in the European competition. So I was very happy, and then I knew that sooner or later, something like that was going to happen. So it's part of the job, as I explained before. There's nothing you can do about it. Well, you need to win every game. If you win every game, then maybe it's not going to happen. But even then, it can happen. So it's part of the managerial pathway, I guess, if you want to call it that way.
You talked briefly, and I didn't come in and ask you about the possibility, but you mentioned his name, saying that he's one of the coaches that's never been fired, Pep Guardiola. And there has been talk about him possibly going to coach the Italian team. I'm sure you've heard of that as well.
Yes.
If it does go in that direction, is that the right route for him? Is it the right age? Is it the right time? What do you think?
I think that he's looking for a little bit of time off. He's had a very intensive period for a long, long time. And he just finished 10 years at Man City. And before that, he was at Bayern. Very intense. I can tell you it's an intense job. And you have to sacrifice a lot of your family life, your private life. So I think he's looking for a little bit of time off, enjoying himself. But a national team coach's job could be on the horizon for him, because it wouldn't be a day-to-day job. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him at some point taking over a national team. I would be very happy if Paolo Maldini can maybe explain to him what an important job the Italian job would be. That we would be absolutely delighted to have him as our national team coach. So let's watch the space. He's certainly is my idol as a coach. I've always looked up to him as a coach, the way, the playing style of his team. So it would be a great honor if he would coach the Italian national team. We might have a chance to qualify.
Well, I can see when you talk about it, there's a big smile on your face, which means that you give it the approval,
Absolutely.
the stamp of approval for it to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But there are some coaches though that believe that job is for like an older coach. We've seen what it's done to Thomas Tuchel as far as England is concerned. I mean, he's not that old. But he's been able to move from club football to coaching a national team into a semi-final of a World Cup. So I'll pick up on that conversation when we come back from a break. If you're just joining us now, our exclusive conversation and interview here with Roberto Di Matteo, our guest until the top of the hour. He's here for the World Cup. He's looking relaxed. He's enjoying life in South Africa. Who knows? Hey, maybe. Maybe what? I'll tell you.
#MSW live now on 947 Vuma FM, Rise FM, and Soweto Live at the same time. #MSW.
When there's tough to be done, you keep moving. Driving through dirt roads, back roads, and roads less traveled, with just your thoughts to keep you company. And along that journey, you'll have a silent partner. One that gets you to work, to the rescue, to your son's big rugby game, without a complaint or a hesitation. Because when there's tough to be done, there's the new generation Hilux.
Hello?
Hello, what's up? This is Rassi. You've won the competition. I'm calling you up to be a block of Coca-Cola.
If Rassi calls you up, you can hang out with Sia, Urban, and Cheslin at their team photo, sing the anthem with pop legends, and watch the game from the best seats in the house. Buy any Springbok Coke pack, scan the QR code to enter, and you could be a Bok with Coca-Cola. T's and C's apply.
Still using a phone from your previous season? Your Winter Arc says it's time for an upgrade. Study smarter, scroll smoother, and stay connected with the new Vivo Y11e. Get it for only 299 Rand per month, over 36 months on a 1 gig red core top-up plan, plus a free Rero watch and a saving of 1,080 Rand. One upgrade and better winter chapter. Valid for new contracts only till 6 August. Waiting for you at Vodacom For You stores or VodacomForYou.co.za. T's and C's apply.
Whether it's a dry tickly cough or wet chesty cough, a cough can stop my whole family in their tracks. That's why there's BronchoStop for wet and dry coughs. BronchoStop cough syrup works in 2 ways. It soothes throat irritation to help reduce the urge to cough and helps loosen phlegm in the lungs so it's easier to cough out. Wet or dry cough, BronchoStop that cough. Ask your pharmacist about the BronchoStop cough range.
Let's get down to business. Not every business gets the recognition it deserves, but behind every great business is a story worth hearing. A dream worth backing. That's why 947 loves Posh Nailed It.
We love
From mobile appointments during lockdown to a thriving beauty salon, Posh Nailed It has built its reputation on helping clients look and feel their best, offering everything from nails and lashes to facials, waxing and massage treatments. Every visit is designed to leave you feeling confident, refreshed and cared for. With a vision to grow into a recognized beauty brand and make quality self-care more accessible, this is a business that's helping people put their best foot forward every day. Posh Nailed It. It's more than grooming. It's a reset. 947 loves Posh Nailed It is brought to you by Standard Bank Business and Commercial Banking. Let them enable your business growth with flexible solutions built for your growth journey. Visit standardbank.co.za/business today. Standard Bank is a licensed FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
it is a huge blow that we still are reeling with. We don't know how we're going to get through it, but with the support from many people around the country, the message is coming through to the family.
Bibo Makwedini, raised by his uncle after losing both parents, chased his rugby dream from the Eastern Cape to France. At 20, he was on the brink of a first-team debut. His talent and spirit live on. Gone far too soon. South Africa and the MSW family will never forget him.
All right, join us tomorrow, as I said, as we pay tribute to Jaden Adams and also to Lukobo Bipom Makwedini, both very, very young South African sportsmen passing away over the weekend. So we will pay our tribute tomorrow. Do join us then. It is hashtag MSW Reaction Monday.
Not your ordinary Monday. It's Reaction Monday. Hashtag MSW.
Hi, Rob. This is Andrew from Rodipot. Rob, what an absolute surprise. You have a great legend in your studio. That man gave us great memories, in the colors of Chelsea. I have a question for him. What is happening with Italian soccer, Rob? I believe that the Catenaccio has actually killed Italian football. Yes, Italians have always produced great defenders, and their play has always been focused on defense, right? But they also produced great attacking midfielders and strikers. I mean, the likes of Vieira, Paolo Rossi, Inzaghi, Rob, I can go on and on. Donadoni, the Baggios. But at the moment, they don't really have creative geniuses on the ball. The strikers that made us to fall in love with Italian football. I just want to know what's Roberto's perspective on this one. Andrew from Rodipot.
Andrew, thank you so much indeed. Our final 12 minutes with the legend himself, Roberto De Matteo, who's graced us with his presence here in studio. As you can tell, so if the listeners are not Chelsea fans, they're Italian fans, and we grew up watching the Italian national team. Especially when it came to World Cups, there was nothing more beautiful than watching Brazil play, watching Italy play, watching the great Dutch national team playing at the time. And as Andrew rightfully says, all of that, whether it's defenders or strikers, all of that has crumbled. Is there hope outside of Pep Guardiola coming in to play a rescue job to resuscitate Italian football?
Yes, I mean, the hope lies with the new president and the new technical director, Paolo Maldini, that they're going to reform the Italian football system. And it has to start with, producing academies, investing into academies where you can then develop younger players, creative players again. And from grassroots football, it has to start all from there. But having said that, our youth national teams, they actually do pretty well at European level and world level. The under-17s, the under-21s, under-9. So there is talent. Obviously, not every generation you produce outstanding players like Roberto Baggio, Alessandro Del Piero, or Bobo Vieri, or defenders like Cannavaro, Maldini, Baresi, and the likes, or Nesta. So it happens that some generation don't produce that, but the hope is on those people making the right decisions for the future of Italian football.
Good evening, Mr. Rob. It's Ulu Filang here, and good evening to the MSW shoulders. Roberto Di Matteo, my question is, it's just the last four. What does he make of the semi-finalists, and who will we see play the final on Sunday, the 19th of July? That's all I want to find out from your esteemed guest, Coach Roberto Di Matteo. Great show as always.
Thank you so much. You've kind of told us, I don't know if you said it during the break or you said it on air, but you told me the two nations. Maybe for those who caught up the conversation late, which two are going through to the final?
Well, I have obviously, this is my theory and my personal opinion. So France, Spain, I think that Spain is probably the most difficult opponent that France can face because they have a collective culture of football, and I think France might struggle a little bit against that sort of football, possession-based. Spain has also been a team that has only conceded 1 goal. It's been a very solid team, and so it's going to be interesting to watch. So, but my opinion is that Spain might be able to go through to the final. And before the World Cup, I put England amongst the favourites of this tournament. I know they will have to face Argentina, but there's something special about this English team this year or in this World Cup. You know, they have a very good coach that seems to make always the right decisions with the subs, with the team setup, and with the lineup, and he's mixed it up as well. And even though they haven't been brilliant, they've always been very efficient. And in a competition, you need to be efficient as well. You can show moments of brilliance, but you need to be able to show that resilience. And they showed it in more than one game, you know. They had those difficult games, and even in the quarterfinal, they went 1 down against Norway and managed to win the game, with a bit of luck, but you need to deserve that little bit of luck on the way. So my prediction is, and don't put any money on it, okay, is Spain, England for the final.
Spain, England for the final, but then who gets to lift the trophy?
Now you're asking too much, Robert.
I can't give you
the winner of the World Cup. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. At the end of the day, you know, in a final, you know, anything can happen. Whatever the outcome is, I just hope it's going to be a deserving winner of this World Cup.
You're not going to tell me anymore?
I don't know. Let's see who gets to the final. If I'm right or wrong.
It's a possibility, and that's the beautiful thing, because you are right with quite a few things that you've said, is that the luck has turned England's way, but there's also been individual performances that have been brilliant. And when Thomas Tuchel spoke about the issue of luck, and I know that Jude Bellingham probably didn't take it too well, because he responded, you know, okay, let's hear what he said.
Maybe he doesn't know what it's like to play in those kind of conditions against Erling Haaland, Odegaard, Nusa, Sorloth. You know, that's not an easy team to play against. So, you know, I think we've tried to create a positive environment. We should continue that going into the Final Four. I can't speak highly enough for the lads. You're not going to win every game popping the ball and making 1,000 passes. Sometimes you have to win dirty, and we've done that again tonight.
But how do you take a player like this? His coach is saying we were lucky. He says, hey, maybe the coach doesn't know what it feels like to be in situations where you're playing against an Erling Haaland, where you're playing against a Martin Odegaard, where you're playing against a Nusa or a Sorloth. In a situation, yes, luck does play a part, but it's not everything. What did you make of his response?
Now, firstly, luck doesn't come to the people that don't deserve it, okay? So you need to work hard for it. And if you work hard for it, then you might get that little bit of luck that you need in any competition to win it. Okay, every team that has won a trophy will have on the way somewhere will have had a bit of luck. There's a lot of love between Tuchel and Jude Bellingham. This is a reaction at the end of a really hard game with extra time in the heat of a player that had just decided the game as well. And the manager maybe thought that he wanted to motivate his player to play better for the next game and not let the enthusiasm rise too much. So there's a bit of psychological play there from the manager probably. But it's a happy camp, the English camp. It's a really happy camp. You know, the manager or Tuchel made some important decisions, controversial decisions before the World Cup when he announced his squad. He left out some individual talent players that probably many other people would have called up. But he looked at the group, he looked at the group environment, the group spirit, team spirit, and he wanted functional players to have in this group. And so far it's been working. You know, there's this, you can criticize maybe a little bit the way they play at times, but at the end of the day, you know, you look at other teams, maybe France has been the most convincing team so far in the whole World Cup. They've won convincingly most of their games, not all of them. And Spain, you look at Spain, they grew slowly into the tournament. The first game, as we talked about, was against Cape Verde, which was a draw, a 0-0. So they slowly grew into it. And Argentina has just individual brilliance. Lionel Messi just, when he pops up, he's a winner.
Yeah.
And so we shall see. It's 4 exciting teams in the semi-final.
Because nobody talks, and you're right, Roberto, nobody talks anymore about Cole Palmer not being included in the England squad.
Phil Foden.
Phil Foden not being included in that squad as well. I mean, there were about 3 or 4 players that people thought were showcased they're going to be there. But now when you talk about how he has united that camp and made them a happy camp, and even the very same Jude Bellingham, who's now become their most important player, Tuchel was not convinced earlier on when he was doing his prelim squad. He was talking about a player that's possibly going to bring some negativity into the camp. But there's no negativity now. He's the one player that they need.
No, I mean, Jude has been pulling this team. He popped up in the most difficult circumstances and moments of the team. He popped up and scored crucial goals, important goals, and that's a top player. There's no doubt about that. You cannot argue about that. But those little messages from the manager, I think it just got the best out of the player. And Tuchel is very good. I know Tuchel personally because he was a Chelsea at the time and in Germany before. So he's a brilliant manager, and he knows what he's doing. Also with his lineup, he's playing mostly Noni Madueke starting, and then Bukayo Saka comes in, and you look at the bench. Why do I say that England is amongst the favourites? Look at the bench that England team has, and that is important. During a long 6-week World Cup, you will need a very, very strong squad, a bench that you can change players that come on and make a difference. And you saw it against Norway. There was like the example, England made certain changes and they made the difference, while Norway had maybe with Sousa and Bob 2 changes, and that was it. They had a little impact. But, France is another team that look at the bench. Spain has a few players, but not that many. Argentina as well, not so many impact players, I would say. So look at the bench as well when you look at who's going to win the World Cup.
Maybe we also got to thank Jude Bellingham's mom, because not too many sons listen to their mothers, but he did.
Yeah, my mom's telling me all week to watch my language, watch my tackles, watch my face, watch my emotions. So, I think she drilled it into me all week about being careful of that yellow card. And to be honest, when you play the right way, and credit to the referee, it was class, he still let you communicate in a respectful way. A lot of referees don't let you do that. So I think when I get the balance right, and as a referee who's willing to listen, it makes it a lot easier. And in the end, it was just a really well competed game of football, and luckily I got through it.
Mr. Marawa and Roberto De Matteo. What a legend. And specifically because, sorry, I don't have any questions. I just want to state a fact right now that game, or that season that we won the Champions League in 2012, was one of the best memories I have as a true blue fan. I actually have the jersey from that season with the gold stripes and the Samsung, and I will never let it go. I just want to say thank you. I mean, it's how many years passed, but I just want to say thank you. I know you've probably received that so many times, and you will until the rest of our days, but again, thank you. Thank you for such a momentous and memorable, incredible moment that I will never ever forget. Thank you.
Those words, thank you, they must mean a lot to you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Every time somebody comes up and say, you've created one of the best memories of my life, and football is about creating memories for people, and it's a beautiful thing that you are able to do that. And as I said, the group that won that trophy, we are connected for the rest of our lives, and when we bump into each other, it's like we haven't missed a day without each other.
Your family, that's what it is.
Yes.
You're one big family.
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank you, though, personally, for taking the time I wanted to thank you for agreeing to come through and chat to us. And I'm sure this has given and uplifted you even more than before you walked into the studio, just to realize the kind of impact. You might be sitting somewhere, whether it's in Switzerland or Spain or Italy or in America, but little do you know that down at the very bottom of the African continent is a country and a continent that really holds you in high esteem, Roberto De Matteo. So I hope that your visit here today has again showed you the kind of respect that we uphold within you, the values that you've brought forward, and you've given everybody. You don't even have to be a Chelsea supporter. You just needed to be a football supporter to appreciate what you have done for football in this whole world. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I feel the love, Robert. I feel the love. I was in Cape Town in January as well. So yes. I know that there's a lot of great people living in this country, and they welcomed me with open arms. And so I'm blessed by many ways. And so thank you for having me. And I'm having a great time here in Joburg. So thank you for everything.
All right, thank you. Thank you to your family that's there. Thanks to your wife, Zoe, who's also there. Thank you to everybody that's a part of it. And Sam, who's there. He's lifting weights every time. Before he goes to bed, he has to lift 50 kilograms. That's just how dedicated and devoted he is. Looking forward to seeing you on television on SuperSport tomorrow as you look ahead to finding out who is going to be the first team to qualify for the final of the FIFA World Cup. Ladies and gentlemen, Roberto De Matteo, thank you very much indeed. Once again for being with us. We'll catch you again tomorrow. #MSW, brought to you by Hollywood Bets.
The thrill, the drama, the action. Play the game again. Marama Sports Worldwide on 947, Vuma FM and Rise FM. Powered by Hollywood Bets. #MSW. Live now on 947, Vuma FM, Rise FM and Soweto Live. At the same time. #MSW.